It's Nolan. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back for another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music and entertainment breakdowns and commentary. Now, today we're going to get into Bruno Mars allegedly being in $50 million debt with MGM Grand Casinos. Got a bad gambling problem. Sounds like you might have a bad hand, but we don't know if this is really true. We're just going off of what's going on in the rumor mill, what they're talking about in the world today. We're going to get into that. And we're also going to get into the allegations of Lil Wayne, who allegedly accepted a $9 million, loan at the height of the pandemic, the loan was from a company that was looking out for music-based businesses and music companies and venues. And one of the stipulations was that you have to contain or maintain a drug-free environment in your business. Now, people are calling this out because Wayne is known to smoke a lot of weed. Wayne used to partake in a lot of lean. We don't know if he's still on the lean and promethazine dreams. But, some people speculate Wayne might even have a little nose candy here and there. I don't know if that's true, but people have said it, right? Nonetheless, that's why the investigation or the articles are coming out. So we're going to talk about this from a pretty objective standpoint because we don't know what is and what isn't real when it comes to these stories. But more money, more problems is the theme of this particular show. All right. So first, let's get into Bruno Mars, because this is the one that's really going crazy. $50 million in debt. Okay. So they're saying that, again, a Vegas insider spoke with the outlet called News Nation Now, which we don't even know as a credible source. They particularly cover political stories, but for some reason they have the inside scoop on what's going on in Vegas with Bruno Mars. Very credible. Okay, but here's what they're saying. Vegas insiders spoke with the outlet about Bruno's alleged unhealthy habit. They claim Bruno, who was once a professional poker player, is known around Vegas to rack up a hefty debt at the tables. As of recently, his debts have peaked to as high as $50 million. Okay? He ain't kidnapped Chelsea Clinton, but he won't 50. Okay? They say he owes millions to the MGM from gambling. His debts have gotten as high as 50 mil. Bruno started his partnership with the MGM back in 2016 when he did his first residency. There's some people out there saying Bruno Mars needs to do a residency to pay his debt. He already has been doing one. Okay? So at this point, he may have to pay his debt to society. Or something like that. Now, they say he currently makes $90 million per year from this deal. But even after taxes, he still has to pay his debt back to the MGM. Okay? Quote unquote, he makes $90 million a year off the deal. But then he has to pay back his debt. After taxes, they say Mars makes about $1.5 million per night. Now, why y'all want to say per night and not add this shit up? Because now I got to do 365 because I don't know how many nights he performing at this motherfucking residency. But 365 times 1.5 million, what that get you? The shit don't even come up on Google. What the hell? But it's a lot of money, okay? So keep this shit going. They say, okay, so they say 90 million after taxes is closer to $60 million, okay? So as of right now, they claim it seems like Bruno's in the 360 deal with the MGM. He has just opened a new lounge inside the Bellagio, an MGM property, and he is set to start more shows at the MGM with his group Silk Sonic very soon. Furthermore, they state, speaking of Silk Sonic, the insider dropped some tea on the group as well. They claim that when they reneged on their nominations from the 2022 Grammys, the real reason was because the group had allegedly split. They weren't seeing eye to eye. Things weren't necessarily in cohesion. Okay? The Insider says Anderson .Paak reportedly demanded more money from what the group was making at that time. They say this isn't that hard to believe, given that Bruno allegedly has some financial issues that they touched on previously. All in all, they've seemingly made up because they have new shows coming up. All right? Now, it's been documented that Bruno Mars does indeed have a bit of a gambling addiction of some sort. Okay? As a matter of fact, I believe Bruno has spoken about it himself, and he's got that Pinky Ring. That's the name of his lounge in the Bellagio. It's called Pinky Ring. They opened it up during the Super Bowl, or he launched it during the Super Bowl, excuse me. They also have rumors of another collaboration with him underway. They may open up another location. So he also talked about frequenting the Commerce Casino in Los Angeles in the days before he rose to fame. He says he used to be a loudmouth. You know, the guy people would want to take his money. If you do get them to lose, they're out for you. They're gunning for you. And that's when they're weak. And that's when you jump on or pounce on them. He says, I remember my first bet. My hand was shaking. A guy caught me out on it and embarrassed me. The singer reportedly lost $100. This is his first time going to the casino, which was an amount that he didn't even have on him. And he shouldn't have been gambling in the first place. He says you got to lose. You got to lose to win to understand. Okay? So those are his initial experiences messing with the casino. And at this point, it's oozing through his pores that he got to be there. Okay? Now, again, we don't know what's real with this. We don't know what the hell Bruno Mars' deal is. But that's what they saying. As of right now, they claim he is in a 360 deal. So even though he's bringing in 90 mil, of course, he's not keeping 90. You know? And he owes 50. And it's only rising because he keep his ass in that goddamn casino. There's even reports of people that have been in Vegas recently and they said they seen him in there. Now, I don't know. I take that with a grain of salt because niggas be capping. But that's the story on Bruno. Moving on to Lil Wayne. They say to get $9 million in pandemic aid, Lil Wayne pledged to operate a drug-free workplace and the feds believed him. Okay? Now, there was a pandemic program for indie music venues that ended up paying millions to rich musicians. Artists had to certify that they ran drug-free workplaces and they sued to get the docs. Now, this workplace in question is owned by Lil Wayne and Post Malone, who are both open drug users. Post Malone is open about using shrooms. Lil Wayne loves weed, but they told the feds otherwise. Now, I don't know how the police identify shrooms, but whatever. I think Post Malone has gotten off all of the other hard drugs and stuff that he used to use, but he enjoys taking trips. They say Lil Wayne is a fan of marijuana. He often smokes joints on podcasts and on stage, and the word baked is tattooed on his forehead. In 2019, he launched a marijuana brand, and a few years before that, he told an interviewer that weed was one of the most important things in his life. This is very federal how y'all position this goddamn article. Sound like y'all trying to get this man locked up for possession or something, man. Kamala Harris, please get that bill signed. But in 2021, Lil Wayne, real name Dwayne Carter, y'all even put the nigga government name in the article as if we didn't know it, told the government his touring company was a drug-free workplace. The dangers of drugs such as weed were communicated to employees, he said, and they were told they could be punished or be forced to go to rehab. However, no one at the SBA, Small Business Administration, appeared to question it, and the government cut an $8.9 million check to Lil Wayne's company, Young Money Touring. Okay, I think they have different touring companies, him and Post Malone. Okay, so Post Malone has his own company called Posty Touring. Similarly, Austin Post singer better known as Post Malone, told the SBA his company warned employees against using drugs, but in 2020, Post said on Joe Rogan's podcast that he made music while on hallucinogenic mushrooms, whose active compound, psilocybin, has been a Schedule I drug since 1970. Last year, Post told the interviewer, "Yeah, I take shrooms," while he differentiated from hard drugs and alluded to the potential medical benefits of the shrooms they still banned. Now, documents signed by Wayne, whose company got $10 million. By Wayne and Post got $10 million for his shit. In free government money were among dozens that Business Insider received after filing a Freedom of Information Act lawsuit against the SBA. There's no sign the SBA investigated them at all in its rush to cut checks. The agency's inspector general said last year that employees had just 4 hours to review their applications with little time to conduct due diligence. Holy shit, I should have filed. Shit, I run a goddamn music company. I run a touring company out my goddamn house then. Shit, if y'all approve these shits within 4 hours, man, we could have goddamn did inside the industry touring and put that motherfucker on the plate. Let me get about 4 million. I take one. Shit, I take goddamn 100K. Y'all crazy. 4 hours to review applications? The SBA's Inspector General declined a request for comment on their reporting as its policy prevents it from commenting on specific documents or confirming or denying investigative activity. In an email sent to Business Insider after publication of this story, the SBA said the drug certification was fairly narrow. It does not cover personal actions of people like Lil Wayne, Post Malone, or members of Beach House, or any drug use outside the period from March 20th to June 22nd. While it may seem like a stretch for the SBA to tie Lil Wayne or Post Malone's pandemic payouts to their drug law compliance, similar requirements have been in place for recipients of federal funds for decades. States and cities also sometimes demand to know what's in people's bloodstreams before cutting checks. Several states have tried to require drug tests for welfare recipients, and San Francisco just voted to require recipients of cash grants to pass a drug screening. However, they're claiming they're asking why the hell did Wayne and Post Malone not go through any of these strenuous testings to get their money. They say when you have social status, your substance abuse is treated a different way. This is what Harold Pollack, a public health expert from University of Chicago, says. He says they don't brutalize a lot of celebrities for behaviors that we would very harshly treat people in people with less prestige. Now, in 2023, Business Insider spotlighted over $200 million in payments from the initiative to big-name artists, many of them already being rich and most of them clients of the Los Angeles accounting and asset management firm NKSFB. So they going in deep diving over Wayne's $9 million and Post Malone's $10 million. Okay. They say the fact that touring artists have a different lifestyle doesn't mean that they weren't impacted in a substantial way by the pandemic, says Josh Schiller, a lawyer who has represented clients in the entertainment industry and sued to legalize marijuana. He says, was there a better use of those grants? I think that's a really good question. Some of the artists who claim to be drug-free have posted pics on Instagram of working in weed smoke-filled recording studios. The touring company for the dream pop duo Beach House also talked about having too much MDMA. Ain't that Molly? Duly professed to be drug-free, but in 2022, the band's official Twitter account cheered the huge cloud of weed smoke that blew over their stage when they performed. Now, furthermore, they say that the feds could come ask for their money back, or come not asking, but clawing for it. The SBA told grant applicants that they could be sued or even prosecuted for lying. If an entity is found to have made material misrepresentations on its application as part of a fraudulent effort to obtain funding, it will have committed an act of perjury and could be subject to various civil and criminal parties. penalties, excuse me. But so far, no one has been. Interesting. And especially in the case of artists using weed, it's likely they won't because of changing norms around marijuana. Federal attorneys are so jammed up with cases now, they're going to look at something like that and say, oh, that's a nightmare, I decline. They're not even going to take the damn case. The Shuttered Venue Operators Grant Program was well funded enough. Oh, so they got grants. Hold on. They got $10 million in grants, not loans. They ain't got to pay the shit back. Good googly muggly. Okay, was well funded enough to cut a second round of checks to recipients. But some businesses that weren't very different from venues and stages didn't qualify for assistance at all. Andrew Preble, who runs a New Orleans escape room business, said he was frustrated to hear from the SBA that he should have lobbied Congress. I'm not necessarily against everyone getting money, he said, but then everybody should have gotten money versus a few. All righty. The SBA's process of monitoring and auditing of grant recipients is actively ongoing. To date, about $40 million have been returned from shuttered venue operation grants. And additional files have been referred for ongoing criminal investigation or civil recovery. To date, none of the recoveries relate to drug-free certification, so it's very possible Wayne will receive no complications, implications, or pushback from the SBA about his $9 million, which is interesting to me because why are y'all talking about this? Like, why are y'all reporting on this if ain't shit gonna happen to him? Y'all snitching. Business Insider, I thought more of y'all. I didn't know that y'all worked for the FBI. That's crazy. Nonetheless, that's the story. That's the story of artists. More money, more problems. The more money you get, the more money you make, the more money you spend, and you might find yourself in a position where you need it. All right? So let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hey, man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Nigga tired as shit, man. Nigga tired, man. Hey, man, my son giving us a run for the money. I'ma tell you, my boy been he waking up every 2 hours ready to eat on cue, ain't playing with you no matter what the time is, and my eyes is hanging low like a motherfucking trench coat. Okay, y'all may not see it, but I feel it. Feel like I need to take a goddamn nap. But much love and respect. I will catch y'all on the next one. All my insiders, I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. I'm so happy that y'all have, really gotten adapted to inside the industry. We're going to keep this thing moving. All the outsiders, come on. Hey, it's time for dinner. Bring your ass inside, okay? You've been outside playing all day. Take your ass inside. Come get some of this good chicken and shit, man. Subscribe to the channel. Become an insider, okay? And again, for all my people out there, any financial donations to the channel, as y'all can see, we've got the Cash App here. Also, super thanks and all that stuff. It's not mandatory, but if you do, you will receive shout outs on the channel. So I just want to let y'all know, if you do super thanks and all that stuff, you will also get shout outs on the show. I'll see y'all later. Much love and respect. I'm going to take y'all out with Let's Get It, and I'll see y'all later. All right? Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more to survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. But drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they died of me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.